So you may have seen the new stuff pack that just came out for The Sims 4 called Tiny Living. It's all about like making the smallest house that you can and getting cool perks for doing it. And there's all these new items that are like multitasking items that do multiple things at once. And of course, there's the new Murphy bed. And it just looks so cool. And I was so excited about it. And then I realized I don't have $10 to spend on a stuff pack for The Sims 4. But I still really want to get in on this building a tiny house thing. So I guess I'm going to make a tiny house in The Sims 1. Okay, so for this challenge, I decided to do the 32 tile house, which is the smallest house available in The Sims 4 Tiny Living. It's the micro home. I decided to make 32 tiles and have 3 Sims living there, 2 parents and a child. The first thing I had to do was count out exactly how many tiles there were. It won't tell me, so I had to count, and I kept counting a couple of times, which was good because at one point I was off. I had one more than I needed. So the next thing I did was grab everything that I thought that I would need and just decided to throw it in there. This layout that I picked, I didn't want to just make a box, so this was the first layout that I tried. It moves around a little bit though. So the kitchen is the first thing that I really struggled with. In The Sims 1, you can't place dishwashers or trash compactors under counters like you can in later Sims games, and I forgot that, so I already lost a couple of tiles that I had been planning on using. Undoubtedly, my biggest problem was the bathroom. Based on the way that I was looking at it, you have to have at least 4 tiles for the bathroom, if you're going to have a sink in there at least. And I was going to need a sink because I didn't want to put a sink in the kitchen. So I really struggle with the layout of the bathroom and how all of this is going to work. I don't know why I put the bed in there. I don't know what I was thinking. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's me just kind of messing with it and recounting and restructuring the whole thing. Without a couple of things pulling double duty, it was something of a struggle. I probably could have helped myself out if I had decided that, for example, the TV could be on the wall, although I'm not sure it doesn't take up a tile. There's a lot of collision detection and stuff that makes building in The Sims 1 a problem to begin with, let alone giving yourself only 32 tiles in which to build. And of course, I gave them a phone and a smoke detector, which is good. I give them a couple of nooks. I decide that nooks are a good way to go for freeing up space for walking, and I actually think that ended up working. A couple of times you'll see me scrolling through and trying to see if anything pulls double duty whatsoever, just something. Maybe a sofa that turns into a bed, at all. Since I have all the expansions, I was hoping there might be something like that, but I couldn't find anything. The closest that I found is that outhouse out there, which of course serves as a toilet that you can put outside the house, and you'll see that I do end up utilizing that, which I don't think is quite in the spirit of the challenge, but what are you going to do? So that's where I found that I had one more tile than I needed, and I ended up cutting it out of the house, which was so painful, but ended up working out okay. I kind of like the layout of the kitchen. I mean, okay, I don't like it. I wouldn't live there, but it worked out all right. At this point, I decided I needed a family to test with. Because I am not an expert in The Sims 1, I really needed to double check that things were going to work the way that I wanted them to, specifically the beds and the surfaces in the kitchen. I also discovered a very frightening face for child Sims. Ugh, what the heck? Oh my god, I hate it. But I named this family the Hippies, and they're all kind of like hippie-ish, and I like them a lot. That was because when I started this, the original plan was for them to have sort of a hippie-style house, just because that works with tiny homes, in my opinion. But there aren't a lot of options for, like, boho or hippie furniture, so I end up having to kind of squish stuff together. I turned on move objects on just so I can move people while I'm building. They're just, like, in the way. So I'm just, like, moving them out of the way and moving all the furniture. I don't have to mess with them too much doing it that way. So for a while, I settle on the idea that I don't need an actual bathroom. Since I have the outhouse outside, why do I need a bathroom that's enclosed? But eventually I remember that Sims get upset if people see them showering, so I put in walls. At this point, I don't even know what I'm struggling with exactly. I think I'm just upset that it has to look the way that it does. I'm just unhappy in general with my choices. Like, I wish the layout didn't have to be the way that it is, but I also wish that I had better furniture options and decorations. At this point, the nostalgia for The Sims 1 has partially worn off, and so I'm just looking at all these decorations and being like, why are they like this? I try testing the sleeping, and it, like, doesn't work at first, so I have to move some stuff around. Here I decide, what am I going to put in this empty space that I have? And I decide on a bookshelf. I think that that's good. For a minute, I thought maybe I'd put, like, a desk with a computer there, but it just wasn't going to work. I struggled a lot with the flooring and the wallpaper. I just really had an idea in mind for the aesthetic for this house, and I just could not achieve it. I probably could have gone, like, real shabby, but I still try for a sort of hippie vibe. Even if it's like a 90s, early 2000s hippie vibe, I really struggle for that. I don't think I quite succeeded, but I did the best with what I was given. Oh, I don't think I like that wallpaper. Did I pick that wallpaper? I might change it. You can see I'm just trying every single thing. I also am just like frustrated with the lack of an eyedropper tool, not being able to compare. My motto is, when in doubt, stick in big windows, and I think that that was the right call. I don't know about that window in front. It doesn't really match to the rest of the house. And of course, sticking in brick to try and give it some sort of appearance of depth. And the decor, which is really going to, I hope, sell this like sort of boho or like old hippie vibe, like they were once hippies and are not anymore. I really wanted that fish tank really badly. There just wasn't a place to put it. I feel like a house isn't a house in The Sims 1 without the fish tank. Yeah, so then I sort of messed around with the outside. I wanted it to be nice. Since The Sims are going to be spending a lot of their time out there, I put out a table and some flowers and just like some nice decor. I didn't want it to be too nice, but there it is. The Sims 1 is really not made for this type of building. It wants to be an architecture simulator and was originally going to be that. So it wants you to build big, beautiful, lavish houses. The idea that you'd want to make a house as small as possible, I don't think ever entered the developer's mind, making this challenge that much harder, I think. Okay, this might be it. Okay, so little Galadriel's gonna have to do her homework, for example, like on the table out here. It's not, yeah, I mean, it's far from perfect, right? Jeez. It's really rough. Collision and stuff in Sims 1 is a mess. But I think there's an idea here. I wish I'd been able to sort of execute what I wanted aesthetically. The kind of thing I'm thinking about aesthetically just did not exist in the developers' minds. So, but like Franklin, when now his daughter's in there, but like when she gets out, she'll get out, and Sunshine can like make food. I'm pretty sure she can serve dinner. Like, I think. Yeah, so she can, so that's what I was concerned about. She can use that as a surface. I spent a lot of time worrying about that. And she might set stuff on fire because she doesn't actually have cooking skill. But she can make dinner for everybody, and presumably everyone can like eat here. 2 people can sit here, so 3 people cannot watch TV at the same time. I'm not sure there was a way to make that happen. If you have any idea, then let me know. But so this is a problem. Franklin is stuck trying to get in. No one can get in now. And she set it on fire. Well, that's The Sims 1. There. I think them setting the house on fire was pretty predictable. I'm sure that there are people out there who can do better than me, and I would actually love to see it. If anyone is doing a better job at making a 32 tile tiny home, then like, man, good on you. Because like, that was tough. I feel like I went through a little bit, and like, obviously I think I made the challenge harder than it needed to be. I chose the smallest lot, and then I decided it needed to be 2 parents and a kid. But even then, I still kind of cheated by having some stuff outside, and having the outhouse. So, you know, I'm bad at it. And but I hope you enjoyed watching it, and really appreciate how far we've come, and like The Sims 4 tiny living is probably the best way to experience tiny living in The Sims. But if you want to try this yourself, I'd love to see it and send it to me. Or what I would actually recommend is going out and getting The Sims for tiny living, because that seems like the superior way of playing tiny living in The Sims. So until next time.